So they'll be calling you a radical. Lennon blown away. What else do I have to fucking say? People forget the 40 years of just consumption paradigm. They've thrown the towel in on peace. That was the greatest peace activist of maybe ever in history. Let's get real. He was the most famous man in the world at the time. He was all about peace. He was all about the anti-consumption paradigm, the anti-war paradigm, everything that we've evolved into. Mark David Chapman, Hinckley, who shot Reagan, were at World Vision together. Wound up. He gets his conjugal visits from his Japanese wife. No, not Yoko. Mark David Chapman. Hinckley's out. So that's what they do. They wind up the useful idiots. I mean, he's sitting in prison. People still can't go interview him and crack him because they've circled the wagons. Julian Lennon. Well, your married father to your mother, who's died, she's just passed away recently. Yoko kind of stalked him and baited him in and led him to getting killed. Wasn't that the plan? Yoko Ono. Dada? Dada's a peace movement. Dada's about being poor. Dada's an activist. It's always the artist. It's always the artist. It's always the artist. Picasso. Always. Michelangelo. It's always the artist. How is she queen of New York art scene? She's the emperor. She's heir to the Japanese empire. You know, she's Hirohito's cousin. Look it up, for real. Multi-billionaire. Father comes here. He's the Japanese banker, the oligarch old banker for the nuclear energy crime syndicate. Just remember this. Mother Mary came to me. John Lennon and Paul McCartney had a huge fight. Sir. He was a radical. You know, Paul McCartney's mother died very young. Shellfield killed her. Cancer, the nuclear energy. Lennon knew it. He was writing all kinds of songs anti-nuclear. He was anti-nuclear energy, anti-nuclear energy, anti-nuclear bomb, anti-nuclear energy. John Lennon! Increasing nominal wages from 1945 to 1979. 1980 to present, decreasing. You know what the military budget has done since he was killed? It's up 10,000 times. You know what the war machine has done? You know what the consumption? We consume 12% of the world's population. I mean, I always loved his lines. His best one was, I mean, he had so many. His wit was so sharp. But, so Paul McCartney says, no. Mother Mary came to me in my sleep, said, let it be, let it be, let it be. I ain't fucking letting it be. John Lennon says, fuck you, I ain't letting it be. If you want a revolution, you can count me out. Not Lennon. He was all about revolution. The greatest peace activist since Jesus. He, you know, and they says, oh, well, he said he was more popular than Jesus. He said that in tongue-in-cheek. Trump said the same thing in tongue-in-cheek. He was the most popular man in the world. I remember when he died, Monday Night Football Holocaust Cell. By the way, let me give you a little nugget. Kathy Lee Gifford, remember when everybody freaked out about having her gear made by slaves in Haiti? Her last name's Epstein. So is Linda McCarthy's. Linda McCarthy is Jeffrey Epstein's first cousin. Not Eastman, Epstein. Operation Paperclip, the globalists, they got it back. They play slick. You know, Warhol, he used to call this all out so perfectly. Look what happened to him. I loved old Warhol when he says, you know, you guys are thinking you're getting in the club. You think you're in the press. He says, you know what you're like? He says, it's kind of like going to dinner with Peggy Rothschild and you're going to pick up the tab. They kill him. That's what they do. They wound up. I mean, now they're a little more subtle. They just starve us out. You know, fuck. You're so contemporizing to fucking mass murder, fucking bombism, killism, heroism. It's just militarism's insane. Consumption junkie. I mean, the environment. He was a big time environmentalist. This country, lock, stock, fucking barrel, has completely 100% given up any thought process, any environmentalism. They don't give a fuck if they kill every single last. They don't care if they kill everybody else. Their own children, they don't care. It's all about consumption. Consume, obey, consume. That's all they give a fuck. They get. I'm going to be the next Cinderella. I'm going to be the next American Voice. I'm going to be the next Jeff Immelt, the CEO. I'm going to pile student debt up the yin-yang. I'm going to buy, consume, 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 consume. Not from a moral aspect, not from an environmental aspect. As long as I got some money to get a Los Alamos, Jeff Bezos, he's rolling over in his grave. So when he died the next Sunday, Monday night, football, where's your hat? I got to get that hat out. Hold on, I've got it, I think. Where's that hat? God, blew it. You forgot your hat. Hold on. Well, that's my Japanese Olympics bag. I thought it was real. I'll find it, tag it in the thumbnail. Monday Night Football, they announced that he's died. And when they announced that he died, John Smith was kicking the field goal. I know I got that here somewhere. Oh my gosh. You blew that. There it is. I'll put that thing up. Saved. Howard Cosell announced it to the world. By the way, to all the artists, why is Kevin Blanch's art never got in the MoMA protest? Now it's come out that Dubs, Jeff Epstein, used to hang around with his ex-girlfriend. This billionaire named Debs married the Swedish model. And now it's being reported, it's under investigation, that Epstein used to go for nice long walks with his 2 young girls. Those daughters were probably molested. Guess who holds the keys to the MoMA? You think the controversial at the Guggenheim, and whoa, don't get me going on the Guggenheim. I protested there, but the MoMA, yeah, Epstein's best buddy, Linda Epstein, which I loved her. She was great. You know, what a musician. You know, Paul McCartney's wife and Yoko Ono went to school together. Hal Cosell announces it to the world. So the next Sunday, around the world, my friend says, I love both kinds of music, country and western. Remember in those days? Every radio station and AM radio, FM radio was giant in those days. It wasn't cable TV. How did they do it? One by just stream, 2 by cable TV. The whole world played Imagine simultaneously. I remember being here in Ogden, up on 15th and Brinker. I lived. My new young girlfriend. My daughter was conceived that night. She has a new baby named Gigi, born on January 26th in Italy. How do I know that? Because it's the only time I ever slept with her mother. You know, we do have DNA. Remember how heartbreaking and how it shivers just went through my soul, everybody's. The peace movement was over, it was dead. The whole world played Imagine. I remember standing outside at halftime of the NFL games. Cowboys got upset that Sunday by the Eagles, I believe. You could hear singing all over the whole city. That was reported all over the world. Every single radio station played Imagine. No hell below us. Above us, only lightning, F-35s, chemtrailed skies. It's a marquee day in Americana. Nominal wages crashed. Everything's crashed post that day. That's the day. You want to draw a line as a socioeconomist, as an artist, and that's the day. That's the day. The other day, March 11th, 2011. He's rolling over in his grave. Chapman lives on with his conjugal visits with his Japanese wife. It's unbelievable. Why'd he do it? He'll say himself that they brainwashed me. I was hearing some kind of voices. Oh, clear back then, they couldn't use microwave weaponry. Now it's been reported they were using it on diplomats in Cuba. But world vision. Chapman and Hinckley were together. Huh. Where was the Bush sitting? Bush's brother with the Hinckley family? Zion Energy? That's a Utah company? What? Right when he did it. Ray Gunn. May Brussels. Carmel, California, 1880. Who was very close friends with John Lennon. Heartbroken. Kids. This is before he was shot. The month earlier. Kids. The Bush CIA's occupied the White House. They will never leave. First thing they do was whack Reagan. They got John Lennon, the greatest peace activist since Picasso. It's always the artist. Fuck the MoMA. I can't believe what they've done. The most important art ever made, Kevin Blanch. Not in the museums. Stay tuned.